It was terrifying, the day the men came. Fontevraud Abbey was normally a scene of peace and tranquillity, prayer and contemplation. But on this summer's day, its grounds were filled with soldiers and horses. The silent nuns were surrounded by chaos and clamour, by masculine figures and deep voices echoing from the walls, and the press and the danger of flying and kicking hooves. The sights, the sounds, even the smells of the incursion, all was unfamiliar, intimidating and loud. And in the midst of the turmoil was its principal object, an 8-year-old girl. It was late June or early July 1174, and the young Joanna had been living in the calm environs of Fontevraud for some while, perhaps for as much as half her life, and certainly for most of the time she could remember. It was the nearest thing she had to her home, and she felt safe there, within the familiar walls and daily routines. With her was her little brother John, who was 7. They were the 2 youngest children in the family of King Henry II of England and his queen, Eleanor of Aquitaine, and they had been sent to the abbey for their education. Such an arrangement was not unusual for royal children, whose parents tended to be almost constantly on the move, and it did not mean that either Joanna or John were destined for a life in holy orders. The care and education of girls until the time of their marriage or betrothal, and of boys up to the age of around 6 or 7, was considered a female concern, and convents were centres of female literacy. It therefore made sense for young princes and princesses to be based in such establishments, where they could enjoy a stable period of residence during their early lives while their parents and older siblings were on the move. It might be the only peace and quiet they would ever know, and the longest they would ever reside in one place, given the peripatetic nature of royal life. This situation was particularly pronounced in the case of Joanna's family, which ruled huge swathes of territory, not only in England, but also in France, from Normandy in the north to Aquitaine in the south. Frequent travel was a necessity, and this made studying difficult. Fontevraud Abbey was situated in the beautiful, fertile Loire Valley, in the very heart of the family's accumulated lands, at the point where Poitou, Anjou, and Touraine met. It was a large and prosperous foundation, established in the year 1100, and a very unusual one. Although it housed both monks and nuns, it had been made explicit as soon as the abbey was established that the male community was subordinate to the female. All the monks, whether clerical or lay brothers, had to take an oath of obedience to the nuns, and the abbey was under the authority of an abbess, not an abbot.